Well, if we want to keep going down the sport path, um, as I said, I went to the movies last night. I saw the trailer for that. One of my favorite, if not my favorite, I'm calling him an athlete because he is an athlete. One of my favorite athletes of all time is
A few people
Shane.
might debate that.
Yes, I've had debates online about this, but he's an athlete. Is Shane Keith Warne. I love him. And there is a documentary that came out about his life on, I saw ads for it on social media and I thought it was just the movies, but it's actually on Amazon Prime. So I went and I bought tickets to go to the movies. And I went by myself because the people I invited got COVID and other people I spoke to had COVID. I didn't want to go out. So I went by myself last night. And despite the fact I've read his autobiography now, it was pretty much the same thing as the autobiography, but a movie version of it, and went for an hour and a half. But it was really, it's just a really good look in his life, and I guess like him coming up, and it just, I guess, highlighted a few things. He also spoke about his divorce from his wife and how troublesome that was and how it was his fault and stuff. But some of the cameos in it, you had like Ed Sheeran in it and Chris Martin from Coldplay. And I'm like, yes, Warnie, we know you're friends with famous people, but like they had like Sachin and like Kevin Peterson and like all famous cricketers in it, but then seeing like Ed Sheeran and Chris Martin, like, I don't know,
that's random.
Like, because he's friends with them, but it's probably like him just being like, let's put them in because like they'll make me look good. So I was sitting there because it was at the end of the cricket yesterday, so I was sitting there in the movies with my phone next to me with the cricket on, and I knew that was all right because the bloke behind me was doing the same thing. So that's where I got the idea from. And then I'm pretty sure like other people in the movies were doing the same thing because it's cricket. And so I was watching Warnie, had the cricket on there, and it was a good documentary. Fun fact, when I got this book, I actually lined up and I met him and I got him to sign it, but he spelt my name as, I don't know if you can say that, Jaxon, Jaxen. So that's how I'm going to spell my name going forward, because that's what King Shane says. I lined up for like an hour and a half and he spelled it wrong. But
oh, well, that's how it is.
Yeah, it's...
Fill out the forms, legally change your name.
Yeah, done. So yeah, it was good. It was a good watch. Like, it had like footage and stuff from when he was playing. It had footage of him like with Michael Jordan and being a model and stuff, and how his kids were in it and they were getting interviewed, which was a nice look on that. And yeah, it's a fun thing to do on a hot summer's day for a Shane Warne enthusiast, really. But yeah, as I said, it's coming on Amazon Prime, so you probably just don't need to go to the movies. I had like some Cinebuzz anniversary, sort of only cost me $9 a ticket, so like, it's fine.
Yeah, I think from memory, I'm pretty sure it hits Amazon Prime on Australia Day, roughly around then. So yeah, it's not like it's a long wait before that one hits the streaming service.
I wouldn't be rushing to go to the movies to see it. Like I reckon I'm in the top percentile of Shane Warne fans in the world, and I probably wouldn't be rushing to the movies to go see it, especially if you've read his book. It's pretty much the same, but it's a visual version of it, which is kind of cool because like when I was reading the book, a lot of the times I'd like stop and I'd go and look up the footage, just
look at the highlights and whatever.
Yeah, so that was the cool part of it. But yeah, if you've got Amazon Prime, you just wait. You know, movies like $25. Go see King Richard or go see Spider-Man again instead. Put your money towards that, even though it's supporting Australian film, so I probably should say go see it. But yeah.
We'll just watch it again on Amazon a couple of times.
Yeah, perfect.
Did they dive into the sort of doping scandal and allegations and match fixing and like the difficult aspects of his life?
Yeah, they touched around it and they got it. Like they were saying how like his mum gave him that diuretic, and then a few months later it wasn't banned. And then they asked his mum, and his mum was like, "Yeah, I did it," and like, but they didn't. It was like a small segment of it, and then they went into the match fixing when he was offered like $250,000 to bowl wide in Pakistan. But it was kind of like I felt like they had to put it in, and they just trotted around it, acknowledged it, and then kept on going with everything else. So the thing that I was surprised they gave more coverage about was when he was in that hotel room with those girls that basically ended his marriage with his wife. And they actually dived into that a bit, and he was discussing it and saying how bad he felt and how depressed he was and how he was just like playing cricket and like was like one of the best series he's ever played, but he was just going back to the hotel getting pissed and whatever. So, and then I found out yesterday on the cricket, he talked to Mark Nichols about it as well. So I think he's been very open about that, which shows another side of him that I guess people don't really see. So I was, quite surprised that they went into more detail about that than the match fixing or the doping, that's for sure.
Well, yeah, I think like the doping and the match fixing, like obviously they couldn't just obliterate it and not talk about it in the movie because people would have been like, hey, how are we missing this like really big moment in his life? But I think that sort of sex scandal era, I feel like that's the thing that sort of tarnished him in like the general public's eyes more than the other incidents.
Yeah,
so obviously I feel like that's probably why he's sort of more open about talking about that, because it's not just cricket fans that were sort of disappointed in that. It was people like my mom and the general person on the street that saw that all over the news and were like, oh, this guy's a bit of a sleaze.
Yeah, of course. And especially with the videos that came out. And this was before the days of smartphones as well. So it wasn't like, to get that footage in 2005, it must have, it's not as easy as these days. That's for sure.
Oh, yeah. It wasn't just someone hit record on their phone and left it leaning against a light or a lamp or something. They had to go and put in a hidden camera and film him just to catch him out.
Yeah, pretty intense.